Hail, well met. Welcome to the Greymantle pregame hangout. This is episode 2 of season 3 that's just showing right now, and we're getting the big build up. I think this is where your mysterious, very tall patron shows up, which is very cool. She might have showed up at the end of episode 1. I don't really remember, but yeah,
Mm.
that was a very good moment, and she's
Yeah.
gonna continue being cool
Let
going
me.
forward.
I
I
do
want
not
to
know why
see.
the notification on stream is wrong right now. It's very
Hmm.
strange.
Yeah.
Because
All right. Well.
I set it to Greymantle, you know. Alright. See
I
this.
want to
This is the
see.
time when we iron out those kinks. So,
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
baby.
but before we get there, I'm Eric Scott to be the GM of this game, and here are two of our players: Allie, who plays Sparrow, and Jen, who plays Ori. And I have very important Greymantle business to discuss with you before this episode. You ready?
Oh. Okay.
All right. What's the deal with Sparrow and Ori? Go.
Well,
Wow. Okay.
Put you on the
Wha-
spot.
How dare you?
Yes. Well.
Why do we gotta put a label on it? Like, why do we need
Okay.
labels?
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Maybe mind your business. No.
Mm-mm. Well, I am
Uh,
running the game, so I guess it is kind of partly my
I mean,
business.
I guess. I'm trying to see if I can find like the notes that I took from this session, because
Fair
I think
enough.
that would be very funny, um,
okay.
to find, but I
I had
don't
to
remember.
manually update the stream info. Hopefully that
Um,
works. I'm annoyed.
let's see.
So yeah, Jen, for the viewers, Jen does take notes,
Yeah.
and she does it in kind of an idiosyncratic way,
Yeah,
and
it's always
it's
very
very
exciting
entertaining.
to like
So
go back and read what they were for that period of time. Okay. Um,
you found them?
well, no. I think I found the first uh I want to say I found one of the first pages of notes that I took. Cuz like I didn't date this one.
Okay.
But it's very funny because it's like, yeah, so it has to be from the first session cuz it includes notes on our characters and stuff.
All right.
And
All right.
Anji isn't on it yet, but it's like
Yeah,
this
Anji didn't show up immediately in the first season.
Mhm.
I think Anji
So,
wasn't even in the first season. I think she showed up in the second season,
yeah,
didn't she?
I want to say she
Partway through first season.
guested. Yeah, like she
Partway through
guested
the first season.
through
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're
for
right.
like
You're
a
right.
game or two, and then we were like, okay, let's bring you on,
Hmm.
because she's delightful.
She is
Um,
delightful.
and yeah, like I don't know, but like let's see. Um,
I'm gonna get Manda for one of these hangouts eventually, and you will
yeah.
see she is delightful as she is on the
Um,
show.
let's see. That's not the right one.
All right. Well, pick the one that
Yeah.
you want to read for us, and in the meantime, I'll ask Allie this question,
Oh,
which
geez.
is:
Yeah.
so clearly, Sparrow and Ori have a history. How much of that was like planned out before we started doing Greymantle, and how much of that evolved during the game? Like,
I mean,
has what's happened matched your expectations, or is it going in a different direction than you expected?
well, I would say it uh definitely kind of kind of evolved over time
Yeah.
because we plan on a connection. We plan on some kind of connection going in, but it wasn't. I don't think it was quite as
We
deep
we
as
had
as it became.
decided on a lover's tie going
Mm-hmm.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the betrayal. And
Yes.
which, obviously being both gay and lovers of drama, um, it was a very dramatic betrayal of misunderstanding and stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean it's kind of just evolved organically into something more like real, I guess. I don't know, but it's like it's not like either of them will admit it.
No.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Ori
obviously.
has because she's still in that place of like Ori's in that place of like I want to reject all of the trappings of my terrible family, and like I believe I can be a person with feelings and thoughts and agency of my own instead of what's expected of me.
Mhm.
But I don't know if Sparrow's there yet, and because like Ori has used the 4-letter word that starts with L, um but
I
Sparrow
don't.
has not.
Yeah, I don't think Sparrow has. Sparrow,
Mhm,
go figure, has intimacy issues.
mhm.
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
and
Much like her source material,
Uh,
her
I
inspiration.
Yep.
I think I have found some of it. And
Okay.
hopefully this is not spoilers. And let me know if Eric, if this sounds like spoilers.
Okay.
Um, so I have Raziel as a shadow dancer, and there's nothing else there. Um,
Okay. I don't think that's a
uh,
spoiler. Okay.
yeah, Tarant, NPC friend,
Okay.
sneak
Okay.
peek.
Yeah.
Eris is the goddess of celestial light. The gray
Mm-hmm.
evening is the child. Um, beggars don't give money. You lived in a house. Um, I got a +1 acolyte amulet. And a bone from an animal, apparently.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Lord Haral, um, from the arena bets on fights. Um, any entity with a connection to the primal entities will suffer in the gray. Law, chaos, good and evil. Forces in reality, and that's in quotation marks. Like shadow, light, and darkness.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Uh, the infernal rod is the pact of the keeper. Lets me draw on more power than I would have access to normally. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is right.
That's
I
a
didn't
rod
mention.
of the
Yeah.
pack keeper, which is um a item that is very helpful for warlocks to have.
Oh, I forgot I got a floating stone from the mage college. That would
Oh
have been
yeah.
useful on this most recent episode that we recorded.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, don't
Yeah.
tell them about the recent episode that we
No,
recorded
No.
I
because
will
that will
not.
definitely be a
I will
spoiler.
not, but I'm just now upset that I had this floating stone this whole time because that would have been very useful.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
Let's see. I also wrote down what all the train cars were. And so basically, like, this one has guards. This says, this is a high class tavern. That was car
Mm-hmm.
4, apparently. Um, we were ordered to bring back as much as we can find. The widow is a new player, only works with women. She got the better of Hellfire and got them to agree to a ceasefire. She's against the Shadow Knives and collects artifacts. And then I have a note that just says Starburst device.
What?
All right, so these are notes about season 2, episode 1, the Doom
Okay.
Train incident.
Okay, cool. The
And
notes, yeah.
and the Starburst device was for those of you who haven't seen season 2, this will be a small spoiler, but it's mostly a teaser, is a device that the purifiers had on the train.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And then when it was activated, it unfolded into something. But
That
I'm
will
not going to.
become relevant for this episode. So this makes my next note, which is good that you recognized where this is coming from, because I remember reading this out to the party because my notes were next game, find out if there's any rumors about the stuff that fell into the water and figure out if the corpses can be possessed by stuff. Very relevant information.
Yeah, and it turns out that sure enough they can.
Yeah, go figure.
So yeah, and
Oh.
now you're dealing with a whole full-on zombie plague now that you've come back to Nightside.
Yep.
So
I hate
and it's yeah, maybe not ideal, but yeah.
No, not ideal.
But now I know where my notes start for what the second game will be. So if I can make if I can make it to the next hangout thing, I will read out those notes.
Okay, but
funny.
but Jen, those notes that you just read out
Yeah.
were from the previous season.
Oh, the previous season? Shoot. Okay.
So
dang. I forgot.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm bad. Ooh, okay.
No, like they were still interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think this might be it then, because was this can I say the date that what I think it is?
Sure.
Okay. I have this page says it was January 7th. Does that sound right?
So that would
Yes.
probably be this this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we've been recording this since January.
Okay. So these notes, if you want me to read them, I don't know if it's
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's see how relevant
these
it is.
say necromancy is outlawed on Nightside, impossible on Dayside. It's overpowered in Nightside because undead have unlimited power.
And actually,
yeah.
A lot of that is extremely overstated, but yeah.
We haven't been filming this since January. We've been filming this since last October.
Oh my.
The first episode was filmed on what let me see here.
Was it October 1st? I have that page right here. I have that page. Okay. But those
so
the
people you are about to see.
Yes.
The versions of us that you're about to see, and when the episode premieres here, are us from a year ago.
Pretty much.
Man, I'll still have crazy hair, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I only just recently moved to a new state.
That's right. That's right.
That's so wild, man. That's so crazy to think about.
I probably look the same. I don't know. Anyway,
kind of. It's your beard is a bit bushier in this episode. I there was I had to sit there and edit and
yeah. I can confirm though that because I have it in my notes that episode ended with Lilith, the Archon of Nightside.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and you're welcome.
Lilith, who we are headcanoning as being played by Gwendolyn Christie.
And specifically being played by Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer from the Sandman show.
What's really great about this is that I don't know if you could see here.
Nope,
no, it's not focusing.
But there is a star next to it. In my notes, and it says Lilith is not a devil or fiend, but is powerful. What is she? And then I wrote what she is in parentheses, but I'm not going to say. That's a spoiler.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is indeed powerful, and she is indeed important.
Man, I can't believe I had that floaty stone this whole time. I'm not gonna get over this. I need to read through these again.
Now you can remember that you have that when we record the next one.
Remember that. I have ADHD.
I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I also
fair enough.
Have ADHD.
Oh wait, I can put it on a post-it note.
Or you could put it on your character sheet. I'm just
yeah, except I don't have that up right now.
Oh,
and it's
okay, yeah, fair enough.
And hard to do
yeah, okay.
Put floaty stone on character sheet. There we go. Okay, cool. See, this is that Sagittarius chaotic energy. I like fire sign.
Nice.
I mean,
nice.
I feel like a lot of Greymantle, as far as it's gone, especially between Ori and Sparrow, could be described as Sagittarius chaotic energy.
which makes a lot of sense because we were talking about this before we started the hangout, and these two ladies are both Sagittarius.
We were
So
born a day apart.
A
a,
day apart.
a year
A
and a
year and a
day
day,
apart.
but still.
Man, somebody like owed a blood boon or something.
Right?
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so
Yeah.
I see that you mostly deflected the question about Ori and Sparrow, which is very in keeping with your
Mhm.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we mostly we gave answers. There was information in what we gave you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, how do you like how Ori and Sparrow's relationship evolves over this season? Because as we watch more of it, we're going to get more of that.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna let Allie answer first so I can have a piece of this pizza.
You're gonna let Sparrow answer first, huh?
I've personally been enjoying it. That it is a trash fire. It is a glorious trash fire.
Mhm.
Um, Sparrow is, as I mentioned previously, fairly avoidant when it comes to meaningful uh, connections to other people. It's almost like she's heavily traumatized and tends to keep other people at arm's length because of it.
Right.
I wonder where she got that.
Well, probably all the trauma, but also the character inspiration. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have I think I've mentioned it on stream before, but we have jokingly referred to her as like the MCU variant of the Fox at Twilight.
Yep. She is this world's version of that character. And
Is
yeah.
is equally as much of a trash fire.
Yeah, basically.
Um, I've been really enjoying it because I as a role player very much enjoy any situation where we can get deep into feelings and emotions and have that like when the characters have those moments of vulnerability and expressing um, because like I feel like it's very easy in D&D in particular to sort of like lean into the power fantasy aspect and just have it be like we're ridiculous little guys going into dungeon getting stuff, going out getting more stuff so we can fight bigger stuff and get better stuff. And I don't know, like not to knock that play style in any way shape or form, but it's like it's not something that I personally enjoy.
Mhm.
So I really enjoy when we can get those moments of like character study and like how the events and the world like affects them and changes and shapes them as people. So like I really love that like in exploring this character that it is very much that sort of thing of like Ori's just very desperate to have a connection to something that like or anyone that actually sees her as like who she is and who she wants to be versus like that expectation of like again being that scion of her family or whatever.
Mhm.
um and like she knows in her heart that like this dream she has of like Sparrow, like her and Sparrow running off and like living cottagecore lesbian life is probably never gonna happen. Like it's just an impossibility, but like she wants to believe that so badly. And it's kind of like being that thing that has kept her going. And I've really enjoyed this season getting to like have those moments where she's really had to take that hard look at her own mortality and also kind of stepping back and realizing how many like she had again, been raised in this family, and to understand how the game of night side is played, as it were. And this season has also been really awesome at setting up all these additional players, and completely tripping up her entire understanding of where she rests within that game, because it's like, she had thought, and she had been led to believe in a lot of cases that, like, she only had one set, like one specific value and one, way where she's placed. But now, like, all these other figures are interested in her, and specifically interested in forming these warlock pacts with her. um that it's kind of been that thing of, like, at first, you will see, like, I want to say in these, like, first two episodes, where, like, um she's very much trying to jump at the opportunity of being able to break that pact that she has with her family's patron, uh whatever it is. And she's, like, jumping at these opportunities to, seek out pacts with other beings. um and then it's like, when like when it starts to be a bunch of people, she's like, wait, 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 wait. I don't like that. Now it seems like it seemed really cool when it was my idea, but
Mhm.
now it doesn't feel like it is anymore, and I don't like this, and I'm scared. And so being able to express that vulnerability and have those conversations with Sparrow, even if Sparrow's not been the best person to have those conversations with, has been really fun and really great role play.
Sparrow's kind of a constant, and which is a strange thing. It's like building a castle on a beach, right? The castle can stand there and could be nice for a while, but Sparrow is a very changeable creature, and you never
Yeah.
know when
Yeah.
that beach is going to get washed away.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's one of those things where, like, there is so much that has been building and being put in there, and, like, so many hopes and stuff like that, that it's just like, oh man, this becomes like bad end Ori.
It does seem like things are naturally setting themselves up for a fall of some kind, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I know that
Hmm.
Sparrow
I don't like the
definitely.
way you said that in that ominous tone of voice,
Hmm.
especially with the
Hmm.
beard
That's just
stuff.
how I
Also,
speak, Jen. I don't know what you're talking about.
the next thing, all you need now you're doing the Gendo Akari, like,
Yeah,
what?
I need
The
the
glint,
light on
the
the
glint.
yeah.
I just have one question for you, Eric. Is all
Mm.
going according to Keikaku?
Oh man. I'm thinking that when I next get an author photo, I'm gonna do it with this and the glint so that, it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, yeah, I am very pleased with the evolving dynamic between the characters, particularly since I'm introducing new elements such as that thing that Ori was talking about, being in demand, right? And also Sparrow has a kind of another element that gets added to the story, but that is not quite yet. So we
Yeah,
are
that
not
is a
going to
spoiler.
spoil that.
I
But
think though
hang on for a couple episodes and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I think for Sparrow though, that constancy as well is almost something that's easy to take for granted because like Ori's always been there.
Yeah,
Why would
I think
Ori
or
not be there?
I think Ori is a lot more constant than Sparrow is, and I think
Hmm.
Sparrow, exactly like you said, is just kind of takes it for granted.
Yeah,
She just kind of assumes that that's how things are, you know?
mm-hmm, for sure. I know that for her, there's this sense of like, well, yeah, of course I'm gonna flit in and out. That's what I do. Like I go do things and I come back, and Ori's there, and I go do things and I come back, and it's this cycle
Yeah.
that I don't think she quite grasps that that's not going to go on forever, one way or another, unless something changes.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, will something change, and in what way will it change?
And who will it change for?
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, I gotta stop minimizing the freaking window. I really gotta stop. At least
it becomes like it would be interesting to see some potential suitor for Ori show up that's like super great and positive and like not toxic in any way, and Oriana's response is just like, this is a trap.
Right?
I don't trust this, and I have good reason to.
Yeah. It's wrong.
Well,
all right, we need to cut and go to our advertisement and then to the show. So thank you for hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you for chatting about this. And
support my Kickstarter.
Yes,
Jen
has a Kickstarter that's going on. There will be links, and it will be available in the chat.
Yeah, it's D20 merchandise. It's super cute.
Excellent.
Let's see if
I can attest. It is super cute. And one of the models that Jen is using for the Kickstarter is Amanda from the show. So
she did such a good job.
Oh yeah, totally.
So good.
I need to log back into Kickstarter. I'm trying to get the link so I can drop it in the chat for everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
Of course. I mean, if you have the link, I'm not sure if it'll get angry at you if you try to drop it.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Oh,
I was
again,
like,
you can go ahead and run the commercial, and we will have it for the chat when the show starts.
All right. We'll be back with the show in 3 minutes, so hang tight.
See y'all next time. and well met. Welcome to Greymantle episode 2 of season 3. Very exciting. I'm sure that for all of you, it has only been about a week since the last episode came out. For the rest of us, it might have been a little bit longer. Holidays are kind of difficult to schedule around, but here we all are, ready to delve back into this dark and shadowy world. I am Eric Scott DB, the DM of this campaign. One of the creators of Greymantle, although the core creator of Greymantle is actually Alexandra Pitchford, who's going to tell you all about herself in a second. You can find my writing wherever online. I'm also a core member of the Dungeon Scrawlers. We stream games every Wednesday, often on Mondays, sometimes other times as well. So check out our website and check out the Twitch channel, which hopefully you're watching right now, or our YouTube channel, which you might also be watching right now. And join the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. And that said, take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am, as Eric said, one of the co-creators of Greymantle, and this setting has been a bit of a labor of love of mine for a fair bit now. Couple years, I'd say at this point, and to see it blossom the way it has been fantastic. I'm a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. You can find me on Twitter at LexiPhoenix, and also, I believe, on Red and Blue Sky and all those other places, generally with the same name. And I'm also here to tell you today about one of our sponsors, which is going to be Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Idle Champions is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. I believe it's Florida next.
Yep, that's me. I'm Florida, or Lex, whichever you prefer. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Ko-fi, Blue Sky, and a bunch of other places at Florida Bear. Some places with the dash, some without. I illustrate, I play games, and tonight I'm going to be playing Sounder, who is a kind of homebrew class called a Gutter Mage. So, looking forward to seeing what we get up to.
Hello, friends. I'm Jen. I go by Savage Bear on the internet. SavageBear.com is my super awesome website where I sell amazing apparel and accessories inspired by anime and gaming culture. We have lots of cute Pathfinder stuff, so, if you want official Pathfinder merch to elevate your fit at the table, come to my website. Otherwise, tonight I'm going to be playing Oriana Devereaux. She is a warlock mob princess and has a lot of feelings about that.
Hello, hi, my name's Amanda Cherry. I write contemporary and historical urban fantasy, TTRPGs, the occasional award-winning screenplay. You can find me online at Manda the Ginger. That's on the X Twitter, that's Blue Sky, that's TikTok. Those are the places I mainly hang around when I am procrastinating my 3 major deadlines that I should be working on right now. But instead, I am here with this lovely group of people. Today, I am playing Anji. She is that tiefling bard your parents warned you about. She is mostly for decoration. She has very strong opinions, and she's a lot of fun, unless you're trying to get something accomplished.
Excellent. And before we get started, I want to give a brief shout out to our dice partners. That is Phoenix Dice, who make dice out of recycled materials, rising from the ashes to strike again. Hopefully not rolling a 1 and getting thrown back into those ashes. Also Norse Foundry, which specializes in metal dice that feel like genuine weapons, crushing the armor and bones of the monster horde. You can check out their websites, and we have links down below and codes to get yourself a little discount. Anyway, come check out the Discord too. They have giveaways there, and it's great. With all of that said, ready to delve back into Greymantle. So when last we left, the Daughters of Darkness had found themselves in the Evanescent Tower, which is a strange tower that appears at the core of Nightside on certain midnights. And you were drawn into an audience with the Archon of Nightside, Lilith, a towering woman, powerfully built. She's nearly 7 feet tall. She has huge white feathery wings. Picture Gwendolyn Christie playing Lucifer from the Sandman show. Picture, as was said in the pre-chat, a goth version of Dame Aelin from Baldur's Gate 3. That's what she looks like. She's very pale. She's wearing white, and she has those feathery wings. Just a very classical sort of look. She had invited you to the tower with a letter that was signed with the symbol about a mystery at midnight, or that's the name of the symbol, or that was in the letter. People who have watched the show quickly or before, recently, probably know all of that. Anyway, so the last thing she said to you was, Daughters of Darkness, I need your help. And here we are.
Well, I guess that depends on what kind of help you're needing from us, doesn't it?
A very practical answer. Yes. You see, Nightside is in terrible peril. Surely you have seen the emptiness in the streets, heard the rumors of darkness befalling this place beyond our own natural gloom. I unfortunately believe that these rumors are true, but I cannot do what must be done to save Nightside without help from independent adventurers such as yourselves. You see, I have power. I rule over this place. I am part of the triumvirate of rulers of Nightside. But I am still bound by the greatest and most persistent foe, politics. Alas, I can only act so far. The city needs to be closed down, quarantined, and a cure for this plague needs to be found. Unfortunately, the other members of the Triumvirate do not agree, and I am outvoted. So, what I need are smart, capable adventurers who can find me the evidence that I need to convince them to lock down the city, to grant me emergency powers, to do what must be done to save Nightside. Will you do this for me and for the city?
Point of order.
Of course.
Businesswomen, not adventurers.
Of course.
Hardly the sort for thrilling heroics. We
Shall
work
we
for our
say
pay.
independent entrepreneurs?
Certainly a more fitting title. I guess
And
my
I'm also
She looks pleased.
not entirely sure we're in the business of installing dictators.
Dictator? No.
Is that not what you just said? Take the power from the other two, allow you to save the city.
Well,
She focuses her will upon Anji, and she says, I do not seek power for its own sake. I seek only to protect our people.
That is the right answer there, isn't it?
Of course.
But as someone who is also no stranger to the political arena, please take no offense in that the way that I am seeing this right now is that in coming to us, independently minded entrepreneurs that we are, we can do these tasks, and accomplishing them is no, is obviously within our wheelhouse and something we are able to do. But
Obviously.
should we do them, and should you be able to do these things, what is to stop you from considering us disposable, considering us, like if we are doing these things on the back channel, there you can understand our hesitation that the lack of acknowledgement of what we are assuming great risk to achieve could be easily swept away once your goals are met.
Yes, I'd rather not. Well, I'd rather not accept a knife in the back in lieu of payment.
A very practical and foreseeable question from a daughter of Hellfire. I see that I have chosen a right. We shall form a pact, if that is your desire.
It is.
What kind of pact are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Lilith looks at Oriana.
Let's see. Can we caucus for a moment?
Of course. Take your time. Refresh yourselves. She points over at the stand of drinks and food. She says, time does not pass the same way in the Evanescent Tower. Do not worry. Do not feel pressed. Speak as you must. She steps away, takes her own wine goblet, and goes and considers Nightside out the window.
So Oriana will casually walk to the drinks table and sort of, do the standard I was raised among, wolves in civilized clothing and check for to make sure everything's not poisoned or tampered with in some way.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, let's see.
Just sniffing at the wine. Tiny little tastes.
Can I do investigation?
Sure, that's fine.
Thank you. It's not letting me roll it. Oh.
It showed up on my screen that you rolled it.
Okay. What did it roll?
I saw it.
You got an 18.
Excellent.
Okay, cool.
All the food looks good, not poisoned. Quite succulent.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And
excellent.
those drinks are very fresh, and some of them are very well aged.
Yeah, as soon as Sparrow is going to be watching carefully as Oriana is checking the drinks.
It's the subtle.
Yeah, as soon as she gets that, she's going to saunter over, pluck up an entire bottle of something, and then find a spot to sit, keep her feet up, and just swig from the bottles directly.
By all means, enjoy. Who can say when you will next have access to such things? Dark times are coming.
How I always like to live.
Conversely, Ariana just kind of pours herself something, she doesn't have manners. But yeah, she'll wave the others over, and assuming they come, and just be like, okay, so this grants us an opportunity to have some level of political relevancy as our own outfit within the city. But what does that look like? What do we want?
We have to be careful with that sort of thing, Ori. Think about it. We start getting into the politics of Nightside, and we might get too many hooks in us to count. I'm not keen.
Signing up to be a dictator's private army, because no.
Yes, I'm not keen on wearing a leash.
We are literally currently the cat's paw of the
Black
widow.
Widow.
So
Which is a matter we're going to resolve in its own time.
yes.
If that
But if we can resolve
Steamer
it
doesn't
right
get
here and
replaced.
now, or at least get a promise of future aid, that might be worth it.
Well,
Exactly.
yes, well... Forgive me if I'm a little leery of pacts at the moment.
I'm not saying that far.
Alright.
So Lilith has made it clear that she is interested in acquiring, securing your aid, and she is willing to do a spectrum of things to make that happen.
Yeah.
You could get a pact with her. You could sign a contract with her, like just a mundane contract. You could just get a reward from her. Whatever you propose.
Well... Let's humor this idea for a moment then, just so we can properly discuss this. Say we agree to this. What do you all think it looks like for us? What do you think? What do you hope to get out of this? But don't all talk at once.
Silence falls upon the chamber as the Daughters of Darkness consider.
I mean, I like the idea of saving Nightside.
Yes.
I think letting it be destroyed is perhaps not in any of our best interest.
I mean,
I would like some measure of freedom from my family and their expectations.
Oh,
which is...
that's a conversation.
That's... I can understand that, Ori. Well...
Sounder is very thoughtful, but we'll say that behind the scenes, Ford is not talking very much because there's a loud construction going on. We don't want to give you a bunch of noise pollution, but basically, Sounder has suggested that protection from retaliation of the Black Widow might be important.
Yes.
So if Lilith can protect you from the Black Widow, that
Agreed.
would be a useful thing.
Because I do not like I know you and the widow have a very special relationship, Anji. But
So much so that, if you recall correctly, someone has stolen my face to go after her. She could be dead as we speak.
Oh no. The only thing I regret there is that she hasn't paid us yet. Not that we've handed over the goods, which I don't entirely understand why we're hesitant about that. We're not exactly upstanding heroes here.
The goods in this instance being a young child that you rescued from a coffin and on the Doom train.
Don't tell them that. It's not the point. Okay.
I'm just reminding everybody.
I know.
Just to make sure we all remember.
yeah.
Look, if you want to trade a child for a political reward or monetary reward, that's totally up to you. I'm just the DM.
I'm trying to play chaotic neutral here. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
All right. Seriously, yes, I can see that we could leverage this. Absolutely. I just got out of one long-term, let's say, commitment. I'm not keen setting us up to become something else, something like that, something We're free right now. We're
You
freer.
are.
And you can be too. All we need to do. Okay.
I
Hmm?
personally would like a guarantee that we are not about to set up a totalitarian regime. That we save what needs saving, everything works out fine in the end. She, Lilith, gets the big "I told you so" to the rest of the triumvirate, but then they go on their happy way, all back in power together, everyone equal.
Yeah, we can have written. We can have written into the agreement that.
I refuse to be in the business of regime change.
Agreed. We can
Yes,
have written
that-
into the agreement that
That's just gonna
upon
get messy.
the threat of the plague being resolved, the emergency powers are immediately released, or whatever specific verbiage.
I've read this book. I know what happens
Yeah.
next.
It doesn't look good for any of us, yes, I do agree. I rather
It
like
is.
things the way they are.
Next thing you know, someone burns down Parliament, they blame the other guy. Chaos ensues, everyone's marching through the streets in jackboots and brown jackets.
Sounder reminds everybody, I just don't want to tramp our happy hind parts down to the widow for payment and then have her kill us. So remember, that needs to be in there.
Yes, that's true. But Ori,
If that's truly a concern, dear, I'll go to the widow myself. You all can stay behind.
Ori, I'm going to ask this very seriously here. Do you think taking this deal could get you that freedom you're after? If it means cutting you loose from those assholes, then I'll consider it.
Sounder says to Anji, I still think you going down there would be a terrible idea.
I think that I don't like the situation I am in with the devils that I know. So it is worth the risk to try seeing what could happen with someone new.
Right? Well.
And with the position that she has and what I have heard of her, it would give me enough leverage to better be able to stand on my own without the retaliation that would be normally expected.
All right. Then we make the agreement.
So meanwhile, Anji and Sounder have been having this conversation where Anji said, I could just go and talk to her myself. And Sounder said, I think that's a terrible idea. We don't even know if the widow is who she claims to be at this point. Somebody stole your face after all. Not too hard to think somebody might have stolen hers. And Anji was just like,
Literally never went there. It was like someone stole my face to get close to her, but like I like that to do violence against her. It never occurred to me that like she's really rich and powerful and maybe they just want to pretend to be her now. Uh-oh.
So Anji's getting a little anxious back there.
Suddenly, like, you'll see the end of this quiet conversation. The next thing Anji does is make a beeline for that, like, wine cask over there that she was very politely not eating and drinking, and now, like, suddenly there's, like, a plate full of cheese and like a very full goblet of wine. We're like, oh, I'm gonna need to eat some feelings. Hold on.
Okay. Lilith
right.
says, have you come to a decision? It is apparent that you all want something from me. Things that might be within my power to give. I will certainly make my best effort. I have considerable power and considerable influence. And this is an important matter. Thus, I make this offer to you. You are, shall we say, your star has risen. And I like bringing light to things.
Well,
Present me your concerns. Let me allay them.
Ori, why don't you handle this? It's more your rodeo than ours, I think.
So the first thing we would need is a guarantee that once the matter is resolved, the threat to the city from the undead and the disease, that those emergency powers would be dissolved and the city would return to rule by triumvirate.
Of course. I have no interest in ruling the city entirely by myself. I tried that a millennia ago, and it was a disaster. I have learned from my mistakes, and thus the triumvirate is as it is. But I shall write that into the contract that we signed, just to make it clear to you and to everyone that I have no interest in keeping these powers. I wish only to protect my city.
You had mentioned a pact before. What would that look like?
I could form a mystical pact with you to give our contract further force of my power and yours. It would be similar to the pact you have with your own patron. But I would make no commands of your soul or your power. I would not grant you powers of my own. Nor would I expect such things from you.
What if I wanted powers of my own?
Interesting. She doesn't seem to have anticipated you saying that. She looks at you a little bit more directly, weighing you with her eyes.
Oriana just mutes it.
Sparrow gets a little anxious. Fascinating. Sure. See,
That is a little bit.
So she looks aside to the others, and she looks at Sounder in particular. And she says, "You seem the most hesitant. What is your concern?" Sounder's been back there muttering things like, "I don't trust her. You're not really helping your case here, lady. I don't know." But now that you have the direct attention,
There's a whole lot of shuffling on her part. Just that kind of, ooh, don't actually acknowledge my presence here. Ooh, no, thank you. But I think eventually she says something to the effect of, look a little more closely at what some of the rich and powerful are doing under your reign here. Because I guarantee at least one of them had something to do with all this and might benefit from it.
yes. I believe you might be correct. All the powers that be in Nightside have their own interests, their own aims, and their own actions. And I have no doubt but that the influence of powers plays a role in this upcoming plague. Nightside has faced existential crises before, and we have always survived. Although when one takes a large, long view, survival might mean a different thing to me than it means to you.
Yeah, and on that note, I guess I was being a little too,
Vague.
yeah, mostly I just don't want to be going and getting stabbed in the back again.
I shall do all in my power to protect you. Although I should make it clear that if you are seen to be my particular agents, that carries its own dangers.
Maybe we don't get seen as agents, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. I would recommend circumspection, subtlety, guile. I shall grant you something that might assist in this. Should you wish it.
What to
She kind
do?
of she waves her hand, and this small, like tiara appears in your hand. She extends to the sounder. You want to make an Arcana check to try and identify that?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a check. I'm not going to see the number, so just go ahead and tell me what you got.
That is a total of 20.
Okay. That would appear to be an item of some illusory magic. Probably functions like a hat of disguise. She says, take it. A gift of my goodwill.
Don't
No
have
doubt
that
your
one.
clever mind can find a suitable use for it. She looks back at Sparrow. She says, so, you wish to forge a contract to ensure that I shall relinquish any emergency powers once the threat is dealt with. There shall be no retribution from my end toward you. I personally shall not harm you in any way, and I shall make no command to harm you. 3. That I shall seek to address the inequities of the city in the post-plague era. Yes.
That does seem to be what we've discussed so far. Although there was some small discussion of perhaps protection on our part from the interest of the widow, since my colleagues
Yes.
have
The
seemed
widow.
to have chosen to take a path that the widow might not be entirely pleased with.
I have
Not
power.
about that. It's about the widow's taking a path that might not agree with us.
I shall make overtures. I shall use what influence I have to ensure that you face no repercussions for any unpleasant business that you may have conducted with the widow in the past, shall we say. I cannot be too obvious that you are acting as my agents in any way, of course.
Of
I
course.
shall act with subtlety and caution.
Indeed. It's a pity, though. I hadn't gotten paid yet. But, perhaps we can...
I shall suggest to her that perhaps I wish something, and she might acquire it for me, and acquiring this thing would utilize your specific talents. The widow is a wise and capable operator. She has not amassed the power that she wishes yet, and perhaps she never will, but she does not throw away useful tools. And she recognizes potential.
I do
would
like
not
to
fear
hear that I'm useful.
So,
Still.
do we have an accord? Reassurance that powers shall be relinquished. Protection for yourselves as best I can manage it. No harm from me. Address the inequities of the city. Yes. 4 points of our pact for
was kind of
4
vague.
agents. Well, I shall have to see what I can accomplish. No one is more powerful than collective politics.
No, I just, maybe we take that 4th one and make it something actionable and not so vague.
If you have a suggestion, I should like to hear it.
Stop that Lord Robillard guy from dragging whatever it is he's dragging into Nightside. Those things are creepy.
Yes, the esoteric Hierophant, of course. Of course, I had heard that there was some business that you had with him. And you survived. That was what brought you to my attention in the first place. I shall look into it.
I do feel like, while we are discussing these terms, we are missing one key important feature. When all this is said and done, what are we getting paid?
Yes, the question of course.
Oh, I have a bit of a suggestion, actually, where that comes in. Sort of a, rather than monetary recompense for this, perhaps
Sparrow's like,
a bit more of a long-term arrangement, a friend at City Hall situation, so to speak, a perpetual get out of jail free card, as it were.
Can't really offer
Freedom to
that.
operate without the interference of city authority.
a token
Well-
of secrecy.
Were we to run afoul of your good graces, we would be called to account to you and only to you. And not, tossed about in a cell, forced to soil our shoes, things like that.
Very well. I agree.
Can't exactly argue with that.
I would love some money, but that's a really good,
Yes, it's hard to eat.
That's a really good one.
It's hard to eat immunity, but yes, that works.
It's hard to earn money when in
like
prison.
nudges Sparrow
It's
like
also-
shut up.
It's hard to earn money to eat with when in prison. And I promise you the food there's no good.
I see. Very well.
Well then. I suppose that's it. That's everyone's getting something lovely.
Now,
Smiles.
I'd like to discuss a slightly adjacent but related proposal. You said you want us to find evidence of this problem.
Evidence
Say
that
we
convince the other 2 members of the Triumvirate, yes.
Say we solve some of these elements of the problem along the way. What's our bonus pay?
Well, what enterprising entrepreneurs you are, indeed. I should think that a certain amount of coin can be given to you as you leave the tower to that end. You're already well on your way to accomplishing your part of the bargain.
I think I can live with that. Certainly, it would go a long way toward resolving some matters of equipment wear. She'll kind of pat her very broken rapier. sheathed. But
Okay. All right. So I was writing this down. Protection from the widow. Emergency powers will be relinquished. Do something about Robillard. You want a favor, so basically a get out of jail free card. And then there was one other thing. What was the other thing?
The injustices in the city, something like that.
No, that was replaced with Robillard.
Oh, okay.
Guarantee of no harm from her.
Right.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So, protection from the widow and from herself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She summons her magic and creates a contract in the air which says those things.
Is the writer about bonus
I can write
date
up
in there?
the whole thing.
Yeah.
I can write up the whole thing specifically for you, but that might be a bit beyond the scope of what we have right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. It seems to say those things. And
Nothing hiding in the fine print.
no.
Okay.
Nothing hidden in the magical weave of the print.
She says, I think you'll find that bargains with creatures such as myself are different from bargains with devils. I am not a devil, nor am I a demon. Demons would not make a bargain of any kind. I am simply one who cares about the state of the city.
Let me ask what you are.
It is easier to demonstrate than to explain. But you are asking one of the deepest secrets of my existence, and I simply cannot tell you unless you sign the contract. Gonna sign?
It says what it says, right? Like
That's what it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Protection.
Yeah. Oriana will sign.
Protection from the widow. Emergency powers will be relinquished. Do something about Robillard and the injustices of Nightside. A favor from Lilith personally, and guarantee no harm will come to any of you four, specifically, from Lilith.
Well, once Oriana signs, Sparrow will sigh and she'll go to sign herself. For the signing, what are we talking here? Are we like with pen and ink? Are we talking like pricking the finger and signing in blood? Like, what are we doing?
Imagine
Just magic pen appears.
see, I was like thinking like, like from Ori's side, because Hellfire and everything, like she just flat out
And the contract, I should also say that the contract specifically says that you will pursue finding the truth of the plague, stopping the source of the plague in the interests and serving the interests of Nightside.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
it
Nightside,
says
not
those
Lilith
three things.
specifically.
Correct. It does not say Lilith specifically.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down because I'm going to write this all up, and we'll probably put it on the Discord for people to check out, just to see what our adventurers have signed their time away for.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's not worry about it.
It's fine.
Find
This
source
just feels
of...
like that part in The Little Mermaid where Ursula's got like the contract floating in the middle of the sea and Ariel's just kind of looking at it and like weird light is emanating.
Yeah. See, like Oriana's just like, I deal with literal devils all the time, and like this, at least so far, has been the most straightforward thing. Like, it's honestly kind of suspicious in how nice and straightforward it is, but at the same time, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and serve best interests of Nightside.
We'll say.
All right.
Like after Sparrow has signed, she'll turn to Lilith. I know you mentioned giving us a stipend, let's say, for other matters we might resolve in the meantime, but I think perhaps it might be a little more expedient if you were to, whatever share of that would have been mine, if you have a weapon that I might use instead. You see, and she'll pull the rapier out, and it's just the blade is mangled. It is not. This
It's
thing's
bent
messed
at
up. Yeah.
the end, and there are chips coming out of it, and it looks like it's gonna break at any time.
Yeah, as much
I
as
remember what I did to it.
Yes, you did. Now this was a bit of a. Well, I had some personal attachment to this, but I clearly it's not exactly serviceable anymore. So, I know I'm going to have to spend my money on a new one anyway.
She holds out her hand.
Hands the
Okay.
basket.
The
Hilt first.
The rapier seems very small in her hand. Like she's very large.
Like a toy.
Like a toy. Like a short sword, basically.
Yeah.
A very thin short sword. She closes her hand around it, and you see kind of a silvery liquid starts leaking down the blade, like what you'd expect blood to be, except that her blood doesn't look like blood. And the blade is engulfed in light. There's a brief flash, and then she hands it back to you, completely remade.
Oh, whoa.
I'll just pop this in your character sheet.
Lovely. Thank you. Definitely not what I expected, but certainly not going to complain. She'll kind of, do a few swishing motions with it, just kind of getting a feel for it. It's her rapier. It's my rapier.
It certainly is.
Found her whistles through her teeth. Because, that sure was something.
Says, I've invested some of my essence into this blade.
Well then. Thank you.
I don't think. Simply the agreement that we had made.
Of course. She'll slip it back into its sheath, and she's happy. She's mollified.
Okay. All right, I put that on your character sheet. Okay. Porta, did you take the hat of disguise that she was offering you?
I think she did, at least to inspect it. She's kind of annoyed with herself because she doesn't have identify prepared.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but you're pretty sure you've felt these kind of magical emanations before, and you're pretty sure that's what it would do. Are you hesitating because I keep saying pretty sure?
On the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, it's just Sounder is suspicious by nature, so
Okay,
she's just sitting there scowling at this thing.
Let
like,
me
"You
clarify
better not
that
be cursed."
that is indeed what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
She still says, "You better not be cursed" to the hat thing.
I put it on your character sheet. I did not attune it to you, though.
Okay.
You can do that at your leisure. Okay.
All right.
She looks to Oriana. What kind of sign bonus would you like, my dear?
Let's see.
All right, well, while you consider,
Yeah.
she'll make the same offer to Anji.
We're all the possible shiny things.
I can produce shiny things for you.
Oh. Oriana holds up Audrey. Can you cleanse this of its curse?
Ooh, that's a really good.
Yeah, that's
Really
a
good
good.
question.
That's a. Ooh.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you can do that, I won't have to.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
she looks at the blade, which is this kind of viciously curved, serrated knife that drains blood from people that you stab with it. And she says, I could break the attunement to you, but I cannot remove the curse from this object without rendering it a mundane object. The curse is what gives it its power. Is this truly what you wish?
At this point, Sparrow's just kind of like averting her eyes. Like, it's just very like, very, very self-conscious and.
If you are concerned, I can enhance the power of this item.
Yeah.
To make it more advantageous to use. The curse will remain, but the item will be more powerful. Is this what you wish?
Ori, just a moment, Ori.
You know, like,
Sit.
how do you make curse items more tempting? Oh, make them even better.
Consider, if you let it be inert, you can put a new enchantment on it later. Still a pretty solid knife.
In the meantime, you can continue to stick people with it. Still quite pointy.
Very sharp, very serrated.
And curse-free.
Yes.
Plus, if you
But-
want to add extra shit to it, there's poisons.
Except the trouble is, then, apart from my magic, I would be without a magical item or magical weapon.
That can be resolved later.
I mean, we are literally going to be going into peril, like, presently.
So you're advocating to keep the dagger that makes you want to stab people, to feed it.
I mean,
And after you gave us so much shit about it,
you know, it's grown on me.
That's not
Yes.
making me feel better about the situation, Ori.
not even little.
That's probably precisely how it works, actually.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Doing exactly what it was supposed to do. Oh.
Let me guess, you could quit any time.
I mean, yeah, but also you don't have to kill somebody with it.
Oh no, you just have to poke them with a dagger, that's all. Life or death is really immaterial at that point.
Just a little bit
mean-
of blood. And then it asks for a little more. And then it asks for a little more. And next thing you know, you're decapitating people.
That bothers you guys so much.
I don't
Kind of.
care, except that I don't want to be the one stabbed.
That's precisely what I was about to say. I particularly don't want to lose my head. That is, I like it where it is. Thank you.
I
And I'm fairly
wouldn't-
certain you like it where it is.
I mean, yes, it is a very redeeming feature of yours.
I can rest my
But-
case.
But I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's like I am limited on the magic that I am able to use against those things. So
Isn't that rod that we found magical?
Yeah.
She says,
Yeah.
how about this? I shall enhance it for now, and if you change your mind, I shall remove the enhancement and the curse.
Okay.
Come to me again at midnight tomorrow night, once you have determined, or a subsequent night. The Evanescent Tower shall always be open to you at midnight.
Thank you.
Yes.
Agreed.
I don't have a good feeling about this, but your decision.
Yay. All right. Knives. A hat.
Having had the conversation about the stabbing and the blood and it's occurred to me what I want. We
A knife.
occasionally tend to find ourselves in scrapes, as it were, and I'm woefully unprepared for such things. As I've my drum and a bit of a pistol, but I can't draw it before someone comes at me with, oh, I don't know, a cursed object. Unable to defend myself in such a situation, so anything wearable, perhaps made of silk or velvet or gold, that would offer some protection from attack would be ideal, I believe, in this situation.
Very well. I can certainly create such a thing. Okay, and she's gonna. Actually, I think it would be particularly cool. She reaches up to her collar and then she says, "Well, turn around."
Turn around. Lift up my hair.
You all turn around.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
You hear,
Yeah.
you hear the sound of her unbuttoning her own garment, which slithers down to the ground.
Well, I know what that
And she
noise
says,
is.
Very good. You see that she is not naked. In fact, she is wearing this suit of white chainmail armor. But she is holding out this gown to Anji. And I'll go ahead and put that on your character sheet as well.
Well,
Be swimming in that.
She says, "Well, the magic will make it adhere to your lovely form, my dear."
adhere.
Ah.
It's quite the choice of words.
Excellent.
Conform would have been better, but I guess adhere's probably more accurate, isn't it?
I don't
No.
think certain of us will complain.
After several millennia of existence, I do enjoy the look of a fine form. And I believe a dress that flatters that form only adds to it.
I knew I liked
Yeah,
you.
right, I guess if you got the shape to flaunt, you might as well flaunt it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sounder is 100% not jealous in this moment.
Oh no!
Not jealous.
Oh no! Sparrow's maybe a little bit jealous, but she got a cool sword, so she's at least somewhat mollified. But now she's kind of kicking herself for not thinking to ask about armor or something.
Well, just like, it literally, Claire was like, sitting here like, what could I use? And I'm looking at my character sheet, and I've got like super low strength, super low constitution, and I remember back in the plaza when we're getting attacked by zombies, and it just doesn't take much to knock me down. And I'm like, you know what would Anji would be like, you know what I would like to not do? Be unconscious in Zombieland again.
That's fair.
So let's ask in the nicest way possible for the DM to give me some dang armor.
I did. Part of why I went
makes
for
sense.
the sword was, well, one, my sword got destroyed. Two,
You do kind of need a sword.
I did make part of my price for what we were doing for the widow a new set of armor, and I'm still kind of
Yeah.
hoping to get that out of her. So a new set
Yeah,
of
I
leather
Get the
armor.
rod.
I think I had
Get the
asked.
rod.
No.
So we're just going to go back empty-handed at this point. That's what this is
Mhm.
going to be. Oh,
Yeah.
this is going to.
It's
have-
already attuned.
We already... You can unattune.
Also
All right.
consider, if we go hunt down where these things fell and we loot them. This is a discussion that will probably actually be happening after we've left the tower, but like, just...
Okay, and this is
I neither wish
probably
to be in the business of regime change nor grave robbing.
That's, we're a bit late
Well.
for that.
Well,
What are you doing?
okay. Once you have all of your devices, Lilith says, "Wonderful. Do you know who the other two heads of the triumvirate are?"
no.
I vaguely remember last session in Sounder's research, it was one of them is the head of, Hellfire or whatever,
Hellfire
the head of the
Church.
church,
Yeah.
and the other was...
I would probably know that, right?
I don't
Yes.
remember who you said the other one was, but you said those two were known, and the third is the one that everyone's like, we don't know who that is.
Okay, so she says the first is the profane mother herself, Catharsis. No doubt you will find her at the Devil's Choir or the Bastion Infernal. And the other is, and she kind of glances at Sparrow, and there's this kind of like faint little smile. She says the other is Salatus the Veiled, Kingblade of the Shadow Knives.
Oh. That makes sense.
These two have aligned against me in this matter, and I believe that they will listen to reason if presented with sufficient evidence.
That's strange. I've never known the two of them to agree on anything.
And if they don't listen
It
to
is
reason, they could
strange,
listen
is
to
it
the
not?
cursed dagger.
Well, the one thing they seem to agree on is that they do not wish me to have emergency powers.
Okay,
I mean, that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They are.
But
They are.
at least from the perspective of Catharsis, having all of this happening in Nightside is incredibly bad for business. So it seems
I'm
extra.
glad you agree.
Yeah.
It would be bad for the Shadow Knives as well, and while I may not be a member of their particular organization any longer, I certainly don't want to see them face any more of a decline than they already have.
Eric, do I know if there is anybody like within Nightside, other than maybe the Widow and maybe the Shadow Knives that like would have leverage enough to like blackmail Hellfire into doing something?
Perhaps.
Oh.
Well, you know that is a reasonable thing that could be the case.
Yeah.
You don't know off the top of your head what information that would be or who would have it.
Yeah.
But you do know that there's an information broker, and you are theoretically going to see her next.
Okay.
So,
Well, I will... If we need to go speak with the head of the Shadow Knives, perhaps I should let others do that interaction, because they still seem to think that I'm responsible for the death of an entire safe house full of our brethren.
Yeah, that's kind of a shitty thing for them to think, considering it was definitely Hellfire setting it on fire.
No, not that. Yes, we'll go with that. Yes, that's the incident I'm talking about.
Oriana
Sounder.
just stares.
It's just in the background. She's now kind of clacking her tusks together in thought, and not in a very pleasant thought.
Well, I didn't do it. I'm just the only
I know
one that...
you didn't do it. You wouldn't have it in you to do it.
Oh, no.
hey,
I'm not
Anji,
sure
I
how to
added
take
the-
that.
Oh, safe
Counter
house
thing.
for what? For what? Wasteful.
Well, yes,
I-
it is wasteful.
Yeah,
That's
but,
why you don't have it in you.
I mean,
So-
there is a difference between lack of profit and opportunity and not having the ability to do so. And I would argue there, the former does not equal the second option.
But fair.
I'm not saying she's not able to. Any of us is able to, technically. But are we gonna? Probably not.
I wouldn't have killed this safe house.
So now that your deal has been done and you're having this kind of interaction with each other, there comes a sound chiming of bells, and Lilith looks up briefly, and then waves her hand, and a figure materializes in the tower room next to you. A large, broad-shouldered man with dark skin and silvery hair. And he says, Archon, I come bearing it. And he looks and sees that you're there.
Like Sparrow will do a little wave.
Sounded like
and
mid-syllable.
he hesitates. And Lilith says, this is Saran, the Night Hammer. He is my second in command. And this man has, he has a scaly skin and a slightly elongated face. He looks like a walking humanoid dragon. These creatures are very rare in Greymantle, in Nightside especially. Some people outside the city call them dragonborn. It's more generally considered to be the term. I wrote down Rock, D-R-A-A-K, but there might be other terms. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. Okay. And he's wearing a black suit of armor with white, kind of silvery white bands and texturing. And he
Oh, that is stylish.
he looks over at Lilith and he says, This cannot wait, my lady. And she says, they were just leaving. It is fine.
Oh.
Sorry about that, man.
Well, I have one more question, but perhaps
Of course.
another time.
She waves away at Saran and looks to you instead.
Sparrow will just kind of look at the rest of the group for a moment. Oh, fine. You know the various players in the city, don't you?
Of course.
Are you aware of one known as the Shadow Crown?
Yes, I am. A mysterious entity operates from below. A creature of great power and great ambition. My information about them is limited. But I do know that they exist, and I do know that they intend to assert themselves in Nightside. Lilith looks at you very intensely, which you kind of get the sense that she knows more and could say more, but maybe you don't want her to say more.
All right then. Thank you. I will leave you to your gentle being here.
Or Oriana just stares at Sparrow again.
Like kind of double takes a little bit. Thank
Lilith
you.
is a little bit unnerving.
Yes.
When she focuses her full attention upon you, you feel a little anxious.
Thank you for your.
Of course. She looks back up.
Yes. Thank you for your time. And Sparrow will just start to move. She'll leave the bottle, and she'll start to move.
Good
towards
fortune
the
be
door.
upon you.
And she's out.
Yeah.
Sparrow just straight down
Oriana-
the stairs. The first one down the stairs.
Oriana kind of finishes the rest of her drink, raises it, and then heads out.
Okay. So you're gonna head
And
out of the tower.
that good fortune to you sounded not sure what else to say. Goes, and to you.
And also with you.
I was thinking the exact same
much.
thing. Oh my god.
All right. All right.
Adieu and good evening.
this is probably a good time for us to take a break because, well, we are just recording whenever. We can record however long we want. Bladders do have their own commandments. So we'll be
Thank you.
back in
Unfortunately.
about 10 minutes. We'll mark this this part, and we'll see you shortly.
Yay!
Hey. All right.
And we're back. Welcome to the second part of our Greymantle episode. They just got done talking to Lilith, but Lilith is not quite done with them. So, climb out of the tower. Your mind's buzzing. Your body's rippling with this new magical power that you just acquired. And you hear a tinkling sound from above as of ringing bells in the distance. And then you see an angelic creature. It's massive white wings spreading out and wrapping around the tower. And you see that it's Lilith herself, glowing brightly as if with internal moonlight. It's something rarely seen in Nightside specifically, but an angel. And then the tower fades from existence, disappearing into the gloom.
That's not at all concerning, is it?
And you are left on your own in this square.
Oh,
Why do all the people that can kill us have to be attractive?
What was that?
I mean, I wouldn't mind her killing me.
I would.
Speaking of
I
attractive
would mind a
people that
lot.
might kill us,
Oh, right, yes.
thought I'd mention we should go check in on Nellie.
The widow. Right, right. Are you sure we should be going back there empty-handed?
Sure is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. I'm not. But I do honestly believe if we show up and I can tell the story of this person who stole my face and shoved me off the side of the building, that we are concerned for her safety, not yet having secured her item, but want to make sure she was still alive to take delivery. I believe she'll
Well,
be understanding. We wouldn't want her item to fall into the wrong hands.
yes. if
We
you're-
must assure her safety and well-being and security before we deliver the item.
Well, if you're insistent, I suppose we can't let you go alone. Probably better
you
not
can't.
to.
No, we really can't, because then we don't know if whoever comes back to us is you.
Yeah.
It's probably good for us to keep in pairs, at the very least.
I can shadow you discreetly.
Well, I don't mind going. I certainly would
We
like
could
to
all
see.
go.
I'm open to this.
A demonstrated concern for her well-being, I think, is not going to cause problems for us.
And Saunder's just kind of clacking her tusks in the background again as she thinks, and then finally goes, fine. Because the sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can get to job number 2.
Agreed.
Hear faint shuffling sounds, as in of somebody nearby. And you see shadows moving outside the plaza. People kind of moving from building to building, looking for shelter of some kind.
Right. Curfew. We should probably not be standing around.
Yes, let's keep to the back streets. Although it's Nightside, they're kind of all back streets.
I think we got one main thoroughfare.
Well, yes, it's
Goes to the gate.
Is one of you of an urchin background? You know your way around the city very well.
Oh yes, I do. Literally, I do have the urchin background. So
All right. Yep. So you can lead everybody to the rotting sprawl, which is where you would find the widow.
Well,
Let's go there.
follow me, and I'll lead the way. I know these streets like the back of my hand.
Okay. Sure enough, you head to the aforementioned rotting sprawl, rundown slums of Greymantle, disorganized, chaotic, warren, twisting streets and alleys that lead nowhere. As if that didn't make it hard enough to navigate, the layout of the place seems to shift over time as buildings literally move and reorganize themselves in strange and unpredictable patterns. Only local urchins and rogues, or both, can get around with any efficiency.
I think I was born
in-
here.
Yes. Your earliest memories are of this place, this
Or dumped.
hopeless place.
Well, dumped
Most
here.
folk live and work in the same building. Most businesses in the area have failed, and their buildings have become high occupancy squatting territory. Gang violence is a pretty common occurrence in the rotting sprawl, primarily among Hellfire, the Shadow Knives, and the relative newcomers, the Strand. That's the Black Widows organization.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Yes. These are all things you know based on your knowledge of this area and your familiarity with the city. As you arrive, in fact, you do see a group of people gathered around, talking in unmuted voices about something. They seem to be looking at something in kind of at the mouth of one of the alleys.
Can I slip a bit closer, just kind of unassumingly? I want to kind of sneak up and see if I can get a look at what they're looking at, or at least listen in.
Okay. Yes. Make a perception check, please.
Perception. Okay. Perception. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Ooh.
Excellent. Yeah, you actually catch sight of what they're looking at without going too close. And it appears to be a brutal murder scene of a couple of people ripped into several pieces. It's very gruesome, and it's probably a good thing that you didn't get too close to it.
We should keep moving.
It doesn't look like this murder was done with weapons. It looks like it was just done with one's bare hands.
We might be a little short on time, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's go.
Chop chop.
All right.
Founder
Yeah.
Sense says to follow along and keep moving and not stick around to figure it out. But curiosity says at least get an idea of what ripped these people apart.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah, those of us who saw the things back, like we were pretty sure we know what that was.
Yeah. On some level, Sounder's sitting there like, I have a vague idea, but also I want to make sure it wasn't like big paw claws, because that's a different kind of concern.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if it helps, you were with us the whole time. And that's what we'll tell the authorities. Moving on.
We have Lilith to account for us.
That wasn't the concern.
Even if one of us had done it, doesn't matter
I'm
anymore.
not the only shifter in this city.
Be gay, do crime.
Way ahead of you.
So, you make your way to the Silken Strand, which is the tavern above the entrance to the Black Widow's underground lair. This place is slightly more in better shape than other businesses in the area, but it's still kind of run down. Folk are indulging in a great deal of drink. There's laughter, and just a lot of people crowded into this tavern, and it feels a little slimy, you know, like you're rubbing elbows with some shady folk. And,
Still walking in like I
bar.
own the place.
Yeah, the second you walk in, the music stops and everybody turns to look at you.
I mean, given how shady Sparrow is, she has no problem slipping in there.
Well, remember that you have been here before.
Yes.
Relatively recently, just, you know, within the last last week or so. And folks start murmuring and whispering as you make your way inside.
I mean, I am very aware that there is the possible perception, and I will probably be sort of like listening to what people are whispering, that I'm already here. Because if the person who stole my face has recently come in, they would have used the front door because they don't know the secret ways in, because I didn't tell them that. So there could be like, wait, there's two of them. Isn't she here already? Like that kind of vibe. And I would want to try to be aware of that if it's going on. Like anything that might serve as a warning.
I'm going to need you to make an insight check, please.
Okay.
Can I assist
And
with that?
somebody can make a perception check. You can make. Everyone can make either a perception check or an insight check.
Oh, they have a perception.
Insight check was 13.
Okay. There are a couple of speculative glances that go Anji's way. Anji, you do notice that there are people who are like,
I did make a 17 on my perception.
I think I crit failed.
Okay.
And Sounder got a 21 total. Not nat.
Okay.
I'm just like,
On perception, not
everything
insight.
seems fine here. I don't know what you guys are upset about.
Oriana's like, I see no hazards.
Yeah.
vibe is
No,
the
we're-
vibe is fantastic.
The vibe is
Oh,
flawless.
Honestly, everybody respects me because of who I am, and you know,
Just
as
get
they should.
gently kind of, pulled it in by Sounder, just kind of. Come on.
I show
Come
up
over
at the
here,
club and
actually.
everybody knows my name. That's why they're all talking about me.
Yeah.
Sparrow, you could tell that everybody is. Most of these people are talking about you and your little group, and they're like, "Oh man, really bold of them to show their faces here." And
I'll walk a
Florida,
little
Sounder-
straighter. Like I'll sit a
Sounder
little
sees
straighter.
that
Just kind of,
there's a small group of people who kind of like they stand up from one of their tables and they position themselves in your path.
Boss in or not?
They're just well, they are definitely trying to get in your way.
Well, yeah, but she's asking a boss in or not.
Yeah. Okay. They say depends. You got a lot of nerve showing your faces here, scum.
Well, we were hired to
Beg
do
your
it.
pardon.
We
Oh,
were.
I'm gonna get. You don't call me names. I get right in that fella's face. I beg your pardon.
Think you could just get a fancy dress and everything will be forgiven?
Forgive it.
I already had a fancy
Yeah.
dress, and what is there to forgive?
One of them pulls out of his coat this like crumpled broadsheet and shows it to you, and it there's this artist rendering of the Doom train just crashing into the mountainside.
And
That's lovely.
And he says,
It's not
"Job
exactly what
went
it looks like.
spectacularly bad, huh?"
we
Bad
didn't
for
say
who?
that.
Yeah, I think the widow's gonna want to see you.
Good.
I think I'd like to see her as well.
Perfect. Let's go. And then another one looking at him like, "What are you? Okay."
I didn't even have to use magic. I just used my regular charming self on this guy. Like I was ready to have to work for that, but no.
They
They're
they
called
escort you
boobs,
down.
Ed.
They escort you down through a concealed secret passage down in the back of the tavern, and you descend into the Ebon Pit, which is the series of underground tunnels in which the Black Widow operates. This is a twisting and confusing place to be. Sounder, you remember this because you went and explored the passages at one point and dropped some eaves on a conversation that you only heard part of, but it was enough to be a little alarming. And the guards are still taking you through this pit, and even they don't seem super sure about where they're going. Smoky torches are leading the way, unless any of you are making any of your equipment glow, because I think all of you at this point have some means of producing light.
Why
I
show
don't think
off?
I
so,
have
but
dark
yeah.
vision. I have no need for this.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Legit.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're going through the tunnels, and finally they bring you into an audience chamber. And this audience chamber is strung all around with silks from the walls and the ceiling, and also chains clanking all
Is this
around
the
you.
same one that we were brought to initially last time?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, at least she's consistent.
And sure enough, Black Widow herself, Enel, is seated there on her throne. And she says, "Ah, my First, wild contractors.
Hey, boss. Got a question for ya. How come the Knights of Eris had a Radiant Guardian on that stupid train?
Moment. Nelly. I need to know it's you. Something happened to us on Dayside. It was frightening. I need to know it's you.
That's interesting, because I need to know it's you.
You tell me your safe word, I tell you mine.
Get out here. You see another Anji come out. And this one, who
It's
looks
a
very much
Spider-Man
like...
meme, right?
Yeah, and this Anji, who is wearing full leather armor and a little skirt, comes out and says, "Oh yes, my darling. Oh."
Oh.
Seems like the chick
The
is
widow
up.
raises one eyebrow. You see, I should have thought that this one was not quite as adventurous as I'm accustomed to.
At least
I
you know
thought
you
that
are
maybe
yourself.
all that time apart had simply changed you. And, well, I'm glad to see that I am not correct.
What has
He
it
has
barely
not
been a
stolen your
week?
face. That is genuinely a relief. Ori. Curvy, cursed, pointy dispatch, perhaps?
What?
I am asking you if you would like to feed your thing with the.
Oh, yes.
Are we really doing that? I'm sorry.
So the
He
other
stole
Anji
my
says,
face and pushed me off a multi-story building. Yes, we are doing that.
the other Anji
So
says,
now you're on board.
it was nothing personal.
Yeah,
And
and
they
neither is
ship-
this. Stab.
they all right, yes. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Face Dancer did not expect this.
It is very personal to the person who fell off a building.
The Black Widow did not expect this. Nobody expected this. You take them all by surprise.
Surprise!
25.
That hits.
8 damage.
Okay. I'm gonna give you advantage if you want to roll again to see if you roll a natural 20, but that is gonna hit and that is gonna do 8 damage.
And I still
only
three barbs their direction for good
Only
measure.
21 that time.
Okay.
Oriana!
What?
You're,
I did
you're
have
casting a spell, Sounder, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still three barbs for good measure. Just because. Why
And
the
what
heck not?
happens when you cast that spell?
I think in her case, it's one of those things where it just. I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's less of the standard like shimmering kind of silver look, and more like a very brief flash. Just Sounder kind of does some sort of gesture or another as she's like reaching it through her pockets and stuff to find the component she needs, and as soon as she's got it, she's just like, that one.
And
then very shortly after, bright flash.
I'm very much hurling vicious mockery at the same time because I'm real mad.
Yeah.
So there's also gonna be a little psychic damage gonna have to happen.
Okay. What, how are you going to mock? Yeah.
It literally, the spell just says string of insults, and
Oh, I know
so,
what the spell
yeah.
says. I'm giving you,
I would
I'm
never
asking
be
you-
cut.
literally, like, player can't even come up with the words that Anji would come up with, but but it's gonna be like all of the upper class insults. Like,
You
I
no
bite my
good
thumb
wish
at you.
imitation.
Yeah, I bite my thumb at you and your last season Prada shoes and your imitation bag, and like,
Okay,
obviously
well,
Nelly was
well-
not sure it was me because like,
You have so
Obvious-
little
and-
game. You have
and
so
appar-
little game. You're not even on the board.
there you go. And like, and apparently you're not even very good in bed. So,
All right, so the face dancer was indeed going to try and stab Ori as well, but that silvery barb spell distracts it, and the knife misses.
Excellent.
And
So
it daggers
whatever-
back from the strike with the dagger. Here's the insults, and grabs its head. Sparrow, were you gonna?
Yeah, I
participate?
was going to. Sparrow is a little bewildered, but is going to.
Oriana's just standing there like, what? Oh.
Like, oh, we're doing this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
so-
it turns out I'm really mean and y'all just didn't know it yet.
Sparrow, you're getting advantage on your next attack roll or saving throw if you
good.
want.
Let me
The
see.
silvery barbs is great.
Let me see. I then am going to.
Can I, quickly before Sparrow acts, can I parlay my long string of insults into bardic inspiration for the rest of my party?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can only be for one person at a time.
Sparrow, did you just draw your sword?
No, I was going to Eldritch Blast this person.
Cool.
Yeah. That works though. If I can tell that you're fixing to do magic, that's where we're going. So, a little inspiration for you.
All right, fantastic. Let's
Oh,
see
and
here.
you also have advantage with the first of your Eldritch Blast. Remember that you get 2 because you are 5th level.
Only. Oh, is that
Yeah, it's 5th character level.
5th
it's not
character
class
level? Okay. So I will roll that with advantage. Didn't roll it with advantage, but I got an 18 with +6, so 24.
Okay, yeah, that definitely is going to strike the face.
And then
dancer.
the second one.
Does anything else happen with your Eldritch Blast, or is it just damage?
I don't have any special like.
Okay, so it's
For
just the
it.
damage. All right.
Yeah, it's just the damage presently, and then the second one is just a flat roll. But still a 20.
Yeah, still hits.
So, all right. So Sparrow, breaking out of her bewilderment and not wanting this to descend into a full-on combat, will kind of, draw, like, shadows will start to kind of, like, coil around her hand, and then she blasts them outward in, like a just a torrent of shadow magic that slams into them. And let me roll the damage on that.
Yep.
First one does 5. Second one only does 4.
Okay.
So 9 damage
So-
total.
9 points of damage. All right. I got to share that with everybody, Forda. So, Forda messaged me that Sounder's silvery barbs look kind of like the status effect symbols in Darkest Dungeon, which I think is excellent. So, yeah.
Just
Ah! All right. Okay. So, stab, silvery barbs, insults, Eldritch Blast, face dancer staggers back, and then the chains from above start wrapping around its body and just kind of drag it off into the darkness. And you hear the face dancer's protests and pleas as it disappears. And then the widow, who is concentrating, opens her eyes,
wait. Dang it. We
smiles at
did
you.
kind of need some information, like why and who and.
Oh, do not concern yourself. That
No,
creature
we're beyond
is not
concern,
dead.
lady.
And
Our
I shall-
faces were plastered in Dayside before we even got there.
Yes,
Well,
that was
I
rather.
suspect-
Hmm.
She hops up from her seat. She says, obviously mistakes were made.
Obviously.
But you have returned. You were successful? It doesn't matter. What can I do for you?
I believe you've done it already.
Par-
can
par-
Well, I
Send us your
haven't done
well-being.
all of it.
pardon me.
She gives Anji the eye.
We've not returned. with the requested quarry, as we feared that thing using my face to come and steal yours, and the possibility of delivering the items into the wrong hands did not sit well with us. So we should take leave now and return with your requested quarry and accept our payment then.
That is so generous of you. I must apologize. You see, there's been some fools who work for me who have decided that they want to change things about. And unfortunately, I learned of their turpitude after you had left and was unable to warn you. I am glad that you have survived and that you have returned. You shall have your payment.
Yes,
I understand that the Doom train was destroyed, and I assume that its cargo was also destroyed. And there is no need to produce something for me. I feel terrible about the ordeals that you have gone through.
Well then.
Can I insight check the shit out of this?
Please do.
I'm gonna, like, my insight check isn't great, but even Sparrow is suspicious as hell.
I actually want to insight check this too, but I want to ask you, would I have a bonus because I know her?
I got 20.
No, mine. I don't need it. No.
I got a
But
17.
would I like already suspect something because
Not necessarily.
I know her? Okay.
Knowing somebody may make it easier to tell if they're full of shit, or it might make it harder because you don't want them to be full
Okay.
of shit.
So I got a 15 then.
Okay.
Sandra unfortunately got a nat 1 for a 6.
She seems on
Okay,
the up and up.
She's just too
That's
mad.
alright, but we got a nat 20 in the party, so we're probably
Sandra,
okay.
you're pretty sure everything's on the up and up, and yeah, she's telling 100% the truth. What does your natural 20 turn into there?
Oh, 19.
Okay, because it's not an automatic success. All right.
I got a 17.
So,
I was so excited.
typically, like,
Yeah.
nat 20 is not an automatic success. Well, then why are you having people roll? And I'm like, I didn't have anybody roll. You just volunteered that you were rolling.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with your
But it's a
19,
19.
with your 19 and with your 17, and even with your 15, you can tell that she is irked and she is frustrated, but she does not have any ill will toward you at this point.
So it's probably that she's real pissed the train went overboard and that she's not getting what she wants, but she's not like
Yeah.
blaming us for
She
that.
doesn't blame you for it.
Yeah.
She's
like,
real pissed at the
which is-
situation.
Which is good, because we
Okay.
didn't cause that.
Right, we didn't do it. We barely survived it.
Yeah.
We did not throw train from the train. That didn't happen.
Says,
It was not us.
if you must know, I believe someone was attempting to set you up. That someone was not me. You were too valuable as allies, or such a thing. Plus, that one, I like as much.
So, riddle me this. Which of your bozos was using your face and your voice when they
I
were broker in a
suspect.
deal?
I suspect that one shall gain some information from them.
I'd
But
certainly
you
like to
need
know.
not concern yourself with my affairs.
Now, unfortunately, that particular affair is wrapped up in our affairs because they set us up,
Let us up and seems to be, well,
trying to sell some of us on the side.
I shall share whatever information I derive. with you.
myself in particular, but
And also, there's a bit of an undead plague we ought to be worried about.
Yes,
That.
that.
Where is that? Oh, didn't you know the Doom train
we're-
was transporting undead?
Yeah. We're.
Well, that
we're-
doesn't seem plausible.
It doesn't, does it? And yet, we saw it with our own eyes. Came under attack in Dayside. Barely made it out alive.
Whatever
Some of it is-
happens in Dayside is of no concern to Nightside.
Some of it has
Except
apparently
when it is.
Except when it comes
wound
into
up back
next-
here.
Hang on. So I understand that a person of your renown and power is used to
maintaining this air of mystery and discretion regarding your business dealings.
You
But-
wish to speak plainly. Feel free.
Yes. Given that what was being transported on that train is very likely directly responsible to what is occurring right now in Nightside, we need to know everything you do about what was on that train, and that could have even tangentially led to this.
First of all, let me thank you for the way you have asked. It is apparent that courtesy is not entirely deceased. Secondly, I was given to understand that there was a powerful item on that train, and I wished to acquire it. Did not know exactly what this item would be. And you say that the train was transporting undead.
Yes, in a sealed car.
Nightside. From Nightside.
Coffins full of them.
Undead. Necromancy is forbidden in Nightside. Even I
Nah.
would not dabble with such dark arts.
Necromancy is of course forbidden, but so is murder, and technically so is theft. So
Yes, but necromancy is worse than either of those.
suppose that
We
depends
don't
on
know
past.
where they originated. We just know they were on the train when it left.
This is troubling me. Do you have proof? I
I
do not
mean,
ask because I don't believe you. I ask
Uh,
because I need actionable information. I am
Oh, sure. So,
unwilling to make other choices that are not based on
if
facts.
you want to see it
and
for
reason.
firsthand, or have some of your people go see it for firsthand,
Yeah, don't do
there's a
this.
building, and Sounder's pretty much drawing up a map to that place in I can't remember if it was Shadow Knives turf or not, but the place we've encountered the bug
The
shadow
cockpit, yeah.
thing.
I see. Very well. I shall send one of my agents to investigate.
Oh no. Send 2 or 3. You don't want them to not come back.
In hopes that one will come back in one piece.
Yes. And
Yeah.
more
in
than
the
that.
in the spirit of being open and honest. I
Keep
should
in
say-
mind, Sounder still looks tore up.
I should say that that might take a while. You see, my forces are somewhat occupied at the moment.
I presume with this organizational interference.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
There's magic that can access memory, is there not?
Yes,
Do you have any at your disposal?
of course.
Then search our memories. Search mine.
I did not realize any of you trusted me enough to offer such a thing. I am flattered.
Oriana looks
Look.
at Sparrow like,
Everyone backs away from Sparrow.
You
No,
know,
I'm
those
standing
magics
there
can-
like, sure, whatever.
those magics can also put stuff in there that wasn't there before and
Spot
take
on.
stuff out.
This. Fine. I thought it expedient. I suppose the expedient isn't always the best route.
Hachi
I'm just
consents.
saying,
Right? I consent.
Yeah, like search
Let the
Hachi's
one she
memory.
likes
You
do
two
it.
have that relationship. It is apropos.
Fine.
Like,
Fine.
while I would like nothing better than to sink my nails into Anji's softly yielding gray matter. As I said, I have other matters that occupy my attention. Even if I were to believe you, it is irrelevant. I cannot act if my agents are being slaughtered in the streets.
Who is slaughtering your agents?
An old acquaintance of yours, I believe. The Veiled One, they call themselves. Kingblade of the Shadow Knives.
No.
In case you were
Oh.
unaware, there's a gang war.
Yes, I've tried to stay
I
out of
believe
it.
we are aware, and it appears we may have already taken a side.
Well, I should hope.
Not
you
his.
take my side.
I'm always on your side, dear, but
You're too sweet,
I mean politically.
of course. And sexually. She looks back to Sparrow. You,
Yes.
go and convince your former friend to stop fighting my folk in the streets, and I can investigate this other matter you brought to my attention.
I'm not sure that's the best idea. We didn't
You
part
don't
on the.
think so?
We didn't exactly part on the best of terms. The
Well.
Shadow Knives and I.
We are both women of pragmatism and practicality. We rarely part on the best of terms with anyone.
It's true.
I'm sure you will succeed where I have failed. Or you can murder them, take out their entire leadership, and I will have no further opposition. Either way, I win. Yes.
I suppose I can't fault the logic of that statement. In the
This
meantime,
is. Hang on a second, because this is not an exchange that is
Equitable.
correct. Because this is something that requires tremendous risk when, we are offering an easy option to verify the truth of what was presented, on top of what was already an operation that exceeded the risks and expectations as outlined.
well,
That has had disastrous results for the city at large.
But aren't we trying to have a come to Jesus meeting with this guy about other stuff anyway? Like,
Oh, we are. We just
we
don't
can
want.
just tack and also stop the gang war, damn it, on to the end of the conversation we're fixing to have with this guy. So, like, having a second sentence in the "you gotta stop what you're doing" conversation is like not. It just doesn't feel like a big ask to like get out of here
Well,
alive.
That's not the
You are-
problem here.
if I'm
The problem is, if we go in and do this for her, what do we get in return besides just the very simple "you were gonna do it anyway"?
yes, well,
correct.
if you'd let me finish, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Literally, my next words were going to be, I think, given that we were going to be doing this very dangerous task, particularly dangerous for me personally, and we had,
She smiled.
and this, the fact that this previous job certainly went tits up, shall we say, perhaps payment for our time and personal anguish is needed.
Very well. I do owe you for your efforts. Set up to fail as you might have done. It is embarrassing that I did not warn you or that I sent you home. I hate to be embarrassed. But I should clarify one thing. Do not deign to make demands upon me. The only reason you stand here in this room without being strangled by my chains is that one, she points at Najee. I like that one. The rest of you, treacherous thief, hellfire princess, and you, points at Sounder. Like, I don't know. She doesn't know what. She doesn't have anything against Sounder, really. Sounder's just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And you.
I am quite delightful when when you get to know me, I assure you. If you took the time.
I
There's
look
also the
forward to it.
There is also the point that if you are already fighting a gang war on one front, you probably don't want to fight one on two.
Spot on. I would love nothing more than to forge an alliance with Hellfire, such as what the Shadow Knives have. In fact, if we could broker such an alliance out from under the Shadow Knives, that would certainly limit their influence and power. You see, businesswoman, I have ambitions. And if Nightside is in a state of disarray because of a forthcoming undead curse, as you describe it, that sounds like an opportunity to me.
Just about everything is.
You came here for something, not just a reward. What is it?
I came here to make sure you weren't dead.
Yes, I know. What is it?
Well, I did make a request of you. As my price,
I shall give you your reward. But what is it you're really after?
me personally.
Your...
We are looking for information related to this plague, and specifically, you had mentioned just now the alliance between Hellfire and the Shadow Knives. Can you elaborate further with what that agreement entails?
I don't know the full extent of the agreement, but they generally have a non-interference agreement. They don't fight each other. I fight either of them, and wearing on my resources. Even if I believed you, and let's say, for the sake of argument, that I do believe you, that there is some kind of impending curse, there's only so much I can do about it. I'm not part of the triumvirate of the city, for instance. But those two are. This is what you are looking to do, isn't it? Very well. I shall make you this agreement. Throw down the leadership of the Shadow Knives. I shall incorporate them into my own organization, and then I shall become one of the Triumvirate. And then I shall wield my power against this plague.
And if
So far, most
another-
dismiss this as a mere rumor.
if another member of the Triumvirate also wanted to rid the city of the plague, you would align with them. You would work together with that other member
Yeah.
of the Triumvirate.
You wouldn't
Who
become
wished-
some sort of dictator or anything like that,
Who
right?
wished-
Triumvirate prevents a single dictator. And I, of course, would vote against this plague because of the affection I bear for you, my dearest Imogen. Oh, and I suppose it would be good for the city.
It would.
And I do operate in the city. So,
I thought we weren't in the business of regime change.
Yes.
Fine.
Now.
seems to be some dissension among your ranks. Very well. You need not answer now. I shall take your actions as a sign of your intent. I
How
shall give you some-
courteous.
I shall give you your reward. Come forth,
If you can provide us with
small
information,
bird.
if you can provide us with information regarding how the veiled has contributed to this plague, I would be amenable to this agreement.
Assuming I believe you that there is a plague.
Of course.
My sources have revealed to me that the Triumvirate has discussed the rumored plague, and 2 of the 3 have voted against taking any action. There was, as I'm sure you noticed, a brief curfew put into place, but I'm sure that will end soon. No one is convinced that this plague is a real thing. No one of any influence and power, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is.
Oh, no one is. No one believes in it.
They'd better start, given the body we saw on the way here.
Yes.
No, see, it ain't happening because it's fortuitous opportunity. It's ambition laid bare. It's just business.
Oh, I see. I know. Tired of it.
That's just night side, though.
So let's quit wasting our time and get going.
We haven't finished.
Yes,
She
well,
is
I
still
believe
going
I
to
am.
give you your prize. I'm just going to add it to your sheet.
I believe Small Bird was referring to me. Sparrow will step forward. The Silver Sparrow. At your service.
She waves a hand. Chains start to descend from the ceiling around you. And they start kind of like touching you and feeling you like snakes. She says,
Well.
Don't move now. They need to have an accurate measurement.
Certainly getting my money's worth, aren't I?
And then you hear howling sounds from behind her, as if something is suffering in great torment. And you hear a ripping sound. And then the howls turn into mewling and then stop.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, it's Nightside. It's Nightside. This is fine. This is probably normal.
I mean,
Just
get out of this hoodie.
Tuesday.
And that means chains reemerge, and they bring a set of pieces of leather that are so red that they seem almost black, and they start just like putting them on you, and they fuse together. It feels like painting a new skin on top of you. I clicked on the wrong thing.
Well, I would hope they would have, like, just at least removed the topmost layer of clothing.
Oh yeah, no. The chains would have also
Just
taken your clothing
okay.
off you so that they could measure you.
All right, Sparrow does
That makes
not
it
react.
even more horrifying, you standing there naked in the middle of this room.
I mean, the Sparrow, though, I don't think
Yeah,
she's
that's
actually bothered by this.
She's
I feel
what?
like if anything, like Oriana's the one just like staring at everybody else like
Yeah, cause like this isn't that strange in this room. Like this is just kind of what
Although-
happens here.
If her back is to the others, Ori probably can see the. She's got a new tattoo
oh.
on her back.
Oh.
Ooh.
Lower back, it's just kind of a weird, like, stylized.
But also like they've been in bed together, so like
Yeah, but I figured they were busy and it was dark.
lights on, baby.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
if she hasn't seen it before, the others certainly haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of a stylized glyph
Mhm.
that kind of looks like a crown.
Yeah, that's not sus at all.
Yeah,
No.
she's the bold as you please. She's not remotely bothered by the semi-public nudity.
Okay. And then a new suit of armor appears on you.
Oh, I'm not hating this.
It feels warm. And and soft.
I don't
Although
like
that
the way you
feeling
said
will-
that.
Although that feeling will fade over time.
Very nice. I'm satisfied. And she'll just kind of collect her things and walk back to the others. Still completely bold, bold as you please. No shame there.
All right. I did add something to your sheet, but I'm gonna alter it a
Okay.
little bit after the session.
No worries.
Okay. What happens is you have this suit of like black armor. It's kind of chitinous, like there are bones in it. But as you approach the rest of your group, it shifts and shimmers into like this stylish sort of clothing that Sparrow would normally wear.
Okay. I'm fine with this.
It's
So-
still providing the same protection. It just looks like your normal clothes, basically.
Well, that's a neat trick. And she'll pull her special coat back over the top of it.
All right. So she says, "There, your reward. Now then, if you are interested, I will make this deal with you. If you eliminate my opposition, I shall use my power in the way that best benefits all of us. I will sign no contract or make any pact with you, other than my word. Anji can tell you how much my word is worth." For I have no reason to trust either of you two, and that one has a strange look about her. Anji, I like.
You have made that quite clear, yes.
Yes,
I'm
we're
quite
aware.
So, can you go this?
Sounder almost says something very, very crude, but thinks better of it. And she's just kind of disengaging, because like, nah, it's time to get out of here before I say something stupid. Because she does not consider anything she said prior as something stupid in this instance.
You haven't actually said a stupid thing yet. But we don't know. We can't tell that.
Okay.
Well. If you're all satisfied, then I say we be on our way.
So, where would you like to head next?
I feel very strongly that we need to get someplace out of earshot of like
Yeah.
everybody. So I don't know if that means we need to go back to the Belfry. I don't know if that means we just need to like find an empty city street because a lot of people are under curfew and there's not going to be people milling about. I don't know, but I feel like we need to have a conversation that like no one can overhear.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's head back to the
We're
Belfry.
being
then.
asked. We're being asked to play Kingmaker right now, so
Yeah.
But like the great thing is that the person who wants to overthrow the criminal syndicate wants to cooperate with the person who wants us to help her take power away from the leader of the criminal syndicate so she can do the right thing. So like it's really two birds with one stone.
If
It's
she's telling the truth.
yes.
I mean, because Anji believes her, Anji's like two birds, one stone. So exciting!
Let's fast forward then, if we can, to the Belfry so we can have this conversation, Icy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you get back outside, and it is dark. The darkest part of the dayside, or night, right? The body that was there kind of just outside the tavern, really. Seems to have been left there. Nobody is interacting with it.
Is this the one that was infected?
Well, you're not really sure. It was torn apart.
Can I cut its head off then? And I would like to basically cut its head off and take it back to investigate further, like run magic tests and stuff on it.
Okay. Yeah, you pull out your vicious little knife and you head over to go do that. And
Oh no.
Oh no.
As she's doing
When
so,
Eric laughs, we are
keep in
all
mind-
doomed.
I don't like that.
Sounder is going with you, but she was specifically thinking, okay, let's take a look at the damage and, get an idea of what maybe did it, for sure. Because there's a big difference between humanoid nails and hands and large creature with teeth.
okay, so you kneel down next to the corpse to cut the head off. And suddenly its hand comes up and grabs your arm.
Ah!
Yeah.
Can I try to dex saving throw?
Well, and then it utters this sound like a wheezing gasp. It goes, "Oh, me."
Wait, you're still alive?
The figure kind of vomits up bile, and its eyes, it only has one eye left, rolls to face you as, "Oh, me." Yes, I'm gonna need you to make a fortitude saving throw, please.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
This is bad.
This is, mildly distressing.
Mildly, just a little bit.
Just mildly.
Is it just under con saving throw?
Yeah, sorry, con
Okay,
saving throw.
cool.
I get stuck in the whole. Oh, okay. All right.
16.
All right. So you manage to draw back and away before it starts vomiting black goo all over you. So none gets in your face or in your mouth or anything like that. But the thing is still clinging onto you with this grasp that doesn't feel like anything living.
I am going to cut that hand off.
Okay. I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Hi.
Why couldn't we just leave the body in the street?
We need evidence.
I mean, real hard to ignore undead plague when it's right outside your bar's door. Oh, Sounder got a 6 total, I think, on this one.
Well, I got a 7, so we're both doing great.
15.
17.
Hooray! The people with the pointy things got decent initiative rolls.
All right,
Yeah.
17 Sparrow, 15 Ori, Sounder got a 7,
6.
6.
I got a 7.
Okay. And the creature ended up with the. Okay. Like it caught you by surprise, which was why it was able to.
Yeah.
Get that first attempt on you. All right, Sparrow, you go first. What do you
All
want to do?
right. Well, it's still got that grip, right? That grip
Yes,
on Ori.
It is still holding on to Ori very hard.
All right.
Slice
Well,
and dice. Slice and dice.
that
Yeah.
new that new
Ori's just like, I need the sample.
that new rapier is out, or her reforged rapier. I'm guessing there's like some new embellishments on it, all silvery and stuff. One would imagine.
Yeah. Well, it starts glowing kind of. Okay. So it basically looks like what you want it to look like, but it has some silvery embellishments on it, and the blade has like silver veins that run across it.
Ooh.
And when you activate its power, it starts glowing with moonlight.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah,
Sweet.
pretty cool.
All right. She will step in and try to stab into the creature. Hopefully through its head or something, but she's just trying to stab the creature with the rapier. So
Okay.
it's a 17.
Yep, that will hit.
All right, and okay, so it's a 6 for the regular damage. It doesn't auto roll the radiant damage though, which is annoying. I'll just. It didn't just now for some reason. Let me see. Huh? So I'll just roll a d8 for the radiant damage. Boom. And then 7 radiant damage. So 13 damage total. Extra, of course, I think if it is weak against radiant.
It doesn't seem to take extra damage.
Okay. But still, she pierces it with that glowing rapier.
Okay.
Hoping to get it to let go.
Yeah, it does.
Feeling it.
I mean, death is a good form of control for enemies.
Yeah. It can't kill you if it's already dead.
You would think that.
That was often the saying around the 4th edition table when people were like, "Your wizard's supposed to be a controller. Why are you doing so much damage?" And you're like, "Massive damage is a form of control." Anyway. So, Ori, what are we doing?
I am trying to shake off the hand that is holding me.
Okay, so that's going to be an athletics or acrobatics check opposed by its check.
Even if I'm trying to cut it off?
Oh, if you're just trying to cut off the hand, then that's going to be an attack roll.
Yeah, because my Oriana's thought is, I want to take this ham and then put it in a bag and then be like, uh-huh.
Okay. 24, that's going to hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll some damage.
5.
Okay. Alright. That makes it Corpse's turn. It is not able to vomit on you. It is instead going to just kind of flail its other arm at Ori and also at Sparrow. Let's see. 15, does that hit Ori?
It does indeed.
Looks like it would. Okay.
And then I have a reaction.
Good. Okay, it's gonna do 8 bludgeoning damage to you.
Oh.
And what is your reaction?
It is Hellish Rebuke.
Awesome.
Let's see.
refer to that ability as the, oh, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
I just did a podcast interview a couple of weeks ago. Actually, Eric has also been on this podcast, and one of the things they ask is like, if you were a D&D character, what would you be? And then, okay, imagine you as a D&D character like fall under attack, and I was like, Hellish Rebuke, like, you done messed up, son.
Oh, oops, sorry. You have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. No,
Okay.
you did not make it.
Then you take, if we are counting that roll that I rolled accidentally because I didn't realize I didn't have to roll, 16 points of fire damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. You mostly burn up the corpse. Like it's scalding and covered in black burns and starts screaming.
Yeah, it's just like, how dare you?
It is also just on fire, and it is going to strike at Sparrow with its other slam. Nope, that's not going to hit.
Yay, new
Okay.
armor.
Just whiffs past Sparrow.
Just dance
Well, that
back
was
out
a
of the
pretty
way.
low roll. You just kind of
Okay, that's fair.
All right, and that makes Anji's turn.
Are there any like, how much of this thing is still intact, even if it is on fire?
Its body appears to be withered and torn apart and almost skeletonized, but there is flesh. Ori
Okay.
burnt off a lot of the flesh, but there's
Okay.
still
Some
some.
of it is still gripping me.
Well, and it still seems to be like in some control of itself. Yeah.
It's still moving. Yeah.
Yeah. Cloud of daggers.
You realize that will catch Ori as well, right?
I would want to do it beyond Ori, so even if it puts the creature, like not all of it within the area of effect. It's like supposedly it's like 5 feet wide, so I want to cast it just far enough away to get as much of the creature as possible without getting my people.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you can set it so that it captures like half the creature because they're kind of wrestling with each other.
That makes sense.
And basically what you're going to do is you're going to chainsaw its lower half away. So, Cloud of Daggers, it makes a saving throw? Yes?
Yes.
Like a dex saving throw? It did not.
I'm looking. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It did not roll very well there.
Okay. Let me roll for damage. I have to get out my regular dice for this, though.
Uh-oh.
That's like... It does 6d4 of damage.
Actually,
have to find the
I don't think
D4.
there's a saving throw involved. I think it just enters that space and it just takes the damage.
I thought it was a dex save.
So that's 12 points
No,
of damage.
There's no save listed. It's
Oh
just-
no, I only
Wow.
did it 4 times. Alright. Well, I can get 2 more. 18 points of damage.
Wow.
I should keep my little d4 out. That little die did me real nice right then. 18 points of damage.
Okay, you buzzsaw the hell out of that corpse, and it is gone. Like it shrieks. It's this blood curdling, and then it stops moving. The grip is still strong on Ori's arm, but there's no longer any attempt to move or hold her back.
Well,
It has a death grip around Ori's arm.
Is there any of that ichor that wasn't burnt all to crap?
Yeah, you can recover some from the ground.
Okay. Because that's what Sounder's gonna do now that the immediate combat is like, oh, okay, just take a vial and just kind of get some of that. We'll take a look at that later.
Let's see. What kind of equipment equipment do you have for recovering that sounder?
Sounder would have on her person at least a small flask, because she's got all kinds of random small things. As far as the actual scooping of it, she's really just got a knife. She's just using a knife.
I would like to ask you to roll a d20, please.
Oh dear. This cannot possibly go wrong.
I mean, I have mage hand. Like,
Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you scoop some and you're pretty sure you don't get any on yourself.
Cool.
was I able to cut the thing off?
Yeah, it kind of tears free actually when you stand up.
Oh, great.
And so you have the hand and most of the forearm.
Cool. I'm
Hanging
putting
from
it
your
in a
arm.
bag
Okay.
and like as tight as I can. Like it's getting shibari wrapped in that thing.
Just tying the fingers to the other fingers.
The corpse just kind of putrefies a little bit more, and then it's just a blackened corpse laying on the ground.
See, I told you practicing would come in handy.
I never doubted you.
You hear
Come in handy.
you hear the
That.
stamp of feet down the street.
Perhaps we should away.
Perhaps somebody coming to investigate the
Yeah, let's.
sounds.
Yes, let's get out of here, please.
Oriana suddenly doesn't look like herself anymore.
Okay. I think that this might be a good place to stop for
Okay.
for this session. So you're heading off, and I'll let you think about where you're going to go next. And as you go, the screams of the creature die away from echoing off the buildings. But the sense of despair and darkness lingers. There will be more Greymantle to come on. Stay tuned. I have been Eric Scott B, the DM of this campaign. I'm a writer, game designer, streamer. I do all that kind of stuff. You can find me online under my name on X, Twitter, on Blue Sky. I'm here on Twitch, and you should join the Discord channel for the Dungeon Scrawlers. We can have fun there and talk
We
about all
do.
kinds of cool stuff and extra events and giveaways, and it's just great. Highly recommended. And with that, take it away, Ellie.
Hi there, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, and as you saw there, I portray the Silver Sparrow, since I forgot to say that at the top of the show. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads at Lex Phoenix, and I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/Alexandra Pitchford, where you can see some of my past work, short stories that I've had published that I've now been able to put out there for folks to enjoy, and as well as some work in progress elements from my upcoming, from the book that I'm working on presently, which is a lovely little retelling of Dracula that I'm quite excited about. So, that's that from me. Thank you guys for joining us so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I am now invested in learning more about this retelling of Dracula. I'm Forda, also Lex. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Ko-fi, Blue Sky, ArtStation, a bunch of other places at that handle, Fordaver, with and without the dash. I illustrate, I play games. I was playing Sounder, our resident gutter mage, and yeah, if you're looking for some illustrations, my commissions are open, so keep me in mind.
Hello, I am Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. You can find me at most of the places by that name or variations thereof. I also run SavageSparrow.com, which is a really amazing site where you can get cool, nerdy apparel and accessories, including officially licensed Pathfinder gear. It's really great. But I also played Oriana Devereaux tonight, the reluctant warlock, and the one who is the mob princess, sort of just like yeah, this has been a blast. I love everybody here, and as always, really excellent game, Eric. Thank you.
And I'm Amanda Cherry. I make stuff up for a living and mostly write contemporary and historical urban fantasy, space opera, TTRPGs, and the occasional award-winning screenplay. I've co-written some books with Eric Scott to Be. You can find those on the DEFCON 1 publishing website. Otherwise, you can find me online at thegingervillain.com or at Amanda the Ginger on the X Twitter, Blue Sky, or TikTok. That's most of the places that you're going to find me. And yeah, I play Audrey, the thirsty bard, who is mostly for decoration, but occasionally has a good idea. And yeah, I'm having a blast, and I can't wait to see what happens next time.
All right. With that, stick to the shadows. It's safer there. See you next time.